Hello, I'm Rob Fish, Director of Education and Lecture Programs at Japan Society, and we're lucky to have with us today Mr. Dai Sato, one of the leading anime screenwriters in Japan who has written such important works as Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo. Mr. Sato is here with us 2 weeks to lead an anime creation workshop with New York City area teenagers, and has also been a member of the Japan Society's Innovators Network since its inception in 2005. Thank you very much for being here today.
ありがとうございます。
To start with, you have a very interesting T-shirt on about the Peppermint Ninchu Zuko. I know that's been a manga that has already been released in Japan, but it's not out here in America yet. Could you tell our American audience a little bit about that manga?
はい。今ちょうど
This shirt I have on here is Yuzuko Peppermint. It's a character from a serialized manga in Japan that runs in Young Gangan, a magazine aimed at teenage boys. It's only available in Japan at the time, but it's intended to become an anime in the future. Hopefully at that time you can see it. So this shirt was just my little plug.
宣伝に来てきました。
Can you tell a little about the plot? そのプロットについてちょっと紹介してくださいませんか？
はい。ゆずこちゃんというこれ女の子の名前なんですけど。
Well, Yuzuko-chan, or Yuzuko, is the name of the female lead, and she uses a superpower called Peppermint, and it's a battle story.
まあバトルストーリーみたいな感じですね。
Looking forward to reading it. Can you tell us, now that you've been teaching a little bit about anime, what you think are the most important elements of the creation of an anime character? And also, what do you think are the most important differences in your approach to writing for a serialized animated series versus a full-length animated feature?
はい。最初のキャラクターについて一番重要なポイントというのは。
Well, first of all, in regard to the creation of a character, the most important thing when you're coming up with an animation character is that it has to be nostalgic on the one hand, but also fresh. You need to think of an image of a person that you might be able to imagine actually meeting, somebody with some familiarity. And as for the difference, when I'm writing a script for a full-length feature, as opposed to a TV series, in the case of the TV series, it's important to think of, to come up with a good hook for each episode, to get the audience to come back and watch the next episode. With a full-length film, it's all connected in one work, so you can't really have the plot be continuous excitement. It's not a continuous climax, so you need to come up with an effective cool-down scene or period that comes somewhere midway in the film.
You've mentioned in our talks that you create scripts in response to requests of either producers or studios. If you were your own producer, what is the dream script that you would like to write?
そうですね。もし本当に
Yes, if I were really able to create something based on my own script without any limitations, I think it would be a movie set in Edo about an ukiyo-e artist, kind of the original old-school comic artist, teamed with the samurai, be like fighting zombies, tons of zombies coming out, and the two of them kind of hack and slash these zombies through the movie.
So you really like the Tokugawa period,
Yes.
like Samurai Champloo.
Yes.
Yes. Many of your friends in the United States are eagerly awaiting the release of the American version of Higashino Eiden, your current Japanese feature. What are the special characteristics of Higashino Eiden that are new and that your audience would not have seen in your previous work?
はい。日本では
Yes, East of Eden ran in Japan from spring to summer this year. The director is the same director of Standalone Complex. And the new point of this anime was the concept was applying this kind of cute girls manga style and combine that with a Ghost in the Shell type, more difficult type of political story. and in the hopes that that will bring kind of a new perspective to the vision, which may capture a new audience.
ような見え方ができたらいいなと思っているプロジェクトであります。
Sounds very exciting. Let me ask you a two-part question. You've now been a very important anime story writer for over a decade. How has your technique developed or changed over that time? And also, if you could go back in time and revise one of your early works, such as Cowboy Bebop or Eternal Family now, what is the one largest change you would make, if any?
10年前と変わったところは
Well, what has changed with the way I work?
少しだけやっぱり
fast?
早く書けるよう
I've
にな
gotten a
って
little bit
それは
faster
カウボーイビバップ
over this last decade.
まあスタッフ
Back with Cowboy Bebop, I was spending about 3 months on one script, whereas that takes me about 1 month
その
now.
部分は現場
And
作る人たち
this helps the people on the front lines because they have a lot more time to create the actual work because we're on the same schedule.
そして
This is a difficult question about what I might correct about works in the past. With Cowboy Bebop and with Eternal Family,
直す
there really isn't much
部分
that
はあ
I
んまり実はない
wish to correct. I try not to think in terms of
実
correcting
は作る
anything.
まで出来上がるまでは
When I'm involved in creating this work, I will watch the film dozens and in some cases hundreds of
偶然
times.
テレビでやっててもあまり
But once it's on the air,
してた
even if I happen to be watching TV and it comes on, I actually try to avoid watching it.
気になるだけど
Once
それ
I
を気にして直す
see it after it's all done, I
新しい
will end up
企
starting
画
to
で
worry about
またトライ
this or
して
that
その時に
glitch that could be improved.
前と違った
I'd rather direct my
前でちょ
energy
っと足りない
to
と
making
思った部
something
分が
new
変わってればいいなと思って。
and applying any improvements that I wish to make in the context of the next film. If I did watch the old films a little more regularly, I'm sure I would find plenty of issues, but I try to avoid watching them in the first place.
なるべく見ないようにしているかもしれないです。